सन्दीरयेत् दष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for this Shri Sandarbha class. We have been discussing the 79th anuccheda. Four Kumaras going to Vaikunta to take darshan of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. In that third canto, chapter 15, verse number 37 to 50. These 14 shlokas have been discussed by Srila Jiva Goswami in this anuccheda. In this anuccheda, it's very important because the four Kumaras were liberated, who were on the liberated platform. When they smelled the fragrance of the tulasi leaves from the Lord's lotus feet, they underwent a transformation. They became inclined towards pure devotional service from the platform of Brahman realization. So therefore, this particular section proves that Lord Vishnu, his paraphernalia, his ornaments, his abode, everything is on a Shuddha Sattva transcendental platform. Otherwise, the four Kumaras would not have got attracted to the Lord Vishnu. So that is proved emphatically in this Anucheda. In this last section, there is the prayers offered by the four Kumaras. Third canto, 15th chapter, verse number 46 to 50. Are the prayers offered by him. It's 1 minute. So the prayers offered by the four Kumaras, the five shlokas, that shows the transformation of the four Kumaras. So in those prayers, we are discussing the 40. 1 minute. 49th shloka. Have the screen. Screen got hanged. Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Where we go here? So 13th shloka. Kamam bhava. Somebody can repeat after me. Kamam bhava svavrijinair nirayeshu nastach.
Kamam bhavat svavrijane narayeshu nastach.
Cheto livad yadinute padayo rameta.
Cheto alivat yadinute padayo rameta.
Vachashchanastulasivad yaditengri shobha.
Vachaschanas tulasivat yadite shobha.
पूर्येतते गुणगणैर्यदि कर्णरन्ध्रः
Purye tate gunaganait yadikarnarandraha.
Since
So
last three shlokas, this Angry word is coming.
ah,
So Lord is addressed as Anga. That's why
angry means feet actually.
feet. Actually. Since last three shlokas, the same word is coming again.
Ah,
Angry.
angry is the feet actually.
Okay.
So the Kumaras are saying that we will gladly accept. We will gladly accept birth in any hell. Nirayeshu means hell. We will gladly accept birth in any hell because of our sins. Swavirginaihi. Swavirginaihi means because of our sins. Because we have committed the sin of cursing your doorkeepers. For that sin, whichever hell which we are allotted to, we are ready to accept that. We will gladly accept it. But there is a condition. If only our minds can take pleasure, like the bees. Alivad. Ali means bees. Nastat Chetaha Alivad. Chetaha, our minds. Alivad Stat. Our minds if only our minds can take pleasure like bees in your lotus feet. Te angri shobhaha. That means tava angri shobhaha, in your lotus feet. If our words may beautify your feet. Vachashchanastu vachashchanaha tulasivat. If our words may beautify your feet like tulasivat. And if our ears be filled with the glorification of your virtues. Te tava gunaganair yadi karnarandraha. Karnarandraha puryeta. Your ears be filled with the glorification of your virtues. So here the Kumaras, last time also discussed, impersonalists, they want to get out of the personal existence because they feel that body, senses, they only lead to trouble. But in this prayer, the impersonalists, Kumaras who are impersonalists before, they are actually praying for the senses, but those senses which are absorbed in Krishna. If we can get such senses, mind, ears, and our words, be absorbed in Krishna, then we don't mind taking birth in hell. We don't mind being in hell, provided we can be engaged in your devotional service. So, idanim swa aparadam dyotayanto bhaktim prartayante kamam iti. So, the Kumaras, they speak of their offense and they pray for devotion. Swa aparadam dyotayanto. They are revealing their aparada, the offense was committed by them, and they are praying for devotion. Bhaktim prartayante. He Bhagavan. Ataha purvam asmakam vrijinam na abhavat. Purvam asmakam vrijinam nabhavat na abhavat. Idanim tu sarvanyapi jatani yatas tad bhaktau shaptau. Prior to this, we had never committed any sin. Prior to this means before coming to Vaikuntha, we had led a sinless life. Kumaras were always absorbed in austerities. We had led a sinless life. But idanim, but now we have committed them all because we have cursed your two devotees. Tvad bhaktau shaptau, by cursing Tvad bhaktau shaptau. Ataha tair vrijinair nirayeshu kamam nosmakam bhavo janmasyat. Therefore, for the sin we have committed, let us be born in the hell. And then further they say, Anena tad adigama uttara purvargayor ashlesha vinashau tad vyapadeshat. Jiva Goswami is quoting a Brahma Sutra, 4.1.13, Brahma Sutra. Anena tad adigama uttara purvagayor ashlesha vinashau tad vyapadeshat. Iti nyayena asambhava tad bhavanam brahma jnaninam api svesham bahu narakakari vrijina pataksha
130.
patakshamāpanena tayoho ittam bhuta guno harihi itivat sarvadbhuta mahattamatvam suchitam. So there is a Brahma Sutra. What is the meaning of the Brahma Sutra? We'll see that. Upon awakening to the knowledge of the absolute truth, sins performed in the present life do not cling to a person. And those committed in the past life are completely destroyed. This is declared in the Upanishads. When a person awakens knowledge of the absolute truth, the past sins are destroyed and the present sins don't cling to a person. This Brahma Sutra is quoted. According to this principle, iti nyayena, sin is impossible in the Brahman realized beings. Kumaras are Brahman realized beings. Sin is impossible. Iti nyayena asambhava tadbhavanam. Asambhava tadbhavanam. Sin is impossible for Brahman realized beings, even if they may be devoid of devotion to the Lord. Brahma jnaninam api Tvesham iti nyayena asambhava tadbhavanam brahmajnaninam api. So the brahmajnanis, even though they may not be devotees of the Lord, but because they have realized the Brahman, sin cannot be possible in them. Past sins are destroyed and the present sins don't link to him. But still, the Kumaras asked for forgiveness from the enormous sins that would consign to them, that would consign them to the hell for a long time. The Kumaras who are Brahmajnanis, but they are begging forgiveness because they felt that we have committed a sin and because of that we will be in hell for a long time. So Jiva Goswami says that Sarvadbhuta Mahattamatvam Suchitam. Sarva Adbhuta Mahattamatvam Suchitam. This points to the most astonishing glories of the Bhagavan and the Kumaras, as expressed in the Atmarama verse. Because the four Kumaras, they were so much captivated by the Bhagavan's glories. Therefore, they felt a deep sense of repentance that we committed an offense. We cursed the devotees of Bhagavan, Jaya and Vijay. So this shows that how they were attracted to the Bhagavan's glories. Therefore, this proves that Bhagavatam shloka Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgranta Apyurukrame Kuruvantyahaitukim Bhaktim Ittam Bhuta Guno Harihi. Ittam Bhuta Guno Harihi. That all varieties of Atma Ramas, especially those established on the path of self-realization, although freed from all kinds of material bondage, desire to render unalloyed ahaitukim bhaktim. Ahaitukim bhakti means they desire to perform unmotivated devotional service unto the Supreme Lord. Indeed, ittam bhuta gunoharihi, such are the transcendental qualities of the Lord that he can attract everyone, including the liberated beings. So, Bahu Narakakari Vrijina Pata Ksamapanena Tayoho Ittam Bhuta Gunohari. So this shows that the Kumaras are saying that we have committed an offense and we will be going to hell. So this shows how the Kumaras were attracted to the Lord. Aho, then next. Aho Niraya api bhaveyureva. Na tavatapi paryaptam. Tebhyascha nasmakamapi bayam. The Kumaras prayed with great emotion in their voices. Alas, let us glide down to hell. Nirayapi bhaveyureva. Though even that punishment is insufficient. Tavata api na paryaptam. Actually, going to hell is not sufficient for the sin we have committed. And although the punishment is not sufficient, but asmakam api na abhayam. We are not afraid of that punishment. We have not the least bit of fear of it. Atra tu moolam dushpalam bhagavat parangmukhi bhava eva satu asmakam mabud iti sakaku prartayante. The root cause and the end result of suffering in hell is aversion to the Supreme Person. Moolam dushpalam bhagavat parangmukhi bhava. Kindly let us not become your non-devotees. The root cause of the offense is that we were actually Bhagavat Parangmukha. We did not have devotion to you, therefore we cursed your servants. And the result of that offense of going to hell will be, we will be Bhagavat Parangmukha. But what we pray is that Asmakam Mabud iti Sakaku Prartayante. Sakaku means they are praying with great emotion. Sakaku Prartayante. Prartaya means praying, but Sakaku means they are praying with great emotion. And then further they say, Nu vitarke yadi tu naschetaste padayo rameta tatrapi alivadeva kevala tan madhurya aswada apekshaya natu brahmatma anubhavam apekshaya evam vachaschetyadi. So, nu vitarke, the word, the nu is a indeclinable. Indeclinable means avyaya. So, this nu in the shloka, kamam bhavat savrijinair nirayeshu nastat chetolivat yadi nute, yadi nu. So, nu is used in the sense of a vitarka, in the sense of a conjecture. And then they say that if our minds should take pleasure in your lotus feet, may it be only with the intent of tasting their sweetness. Kevala tan madhurya aswadapekshaya. Just like a bee tastes honey. And not with the intent of experiencing the bliss of the self as Brahman. Let our minds take pleasure in the sweetness of your lotus feet. Let the minds not take pleasure in the impersonal Brahman. Natu Brahmatma Anubhava Apekshaya. We don't want to experience the bliss of the impersonal Brahman. Kevala Tan Madhurya Aswada Apekshaya. Similarly, Yevam Vachastetyade. Similar prayer for the let our words taste the sweetness of your glories, not the glories of the impersonal Brahman. Mind, words, and the ears. Let our ears hear the sweetness of your glories, not the impersonal Brahman. And then they say, Atra Bhakta aparadasya Bhagavata Kshama Tad Ichha Matra Krita Tat Krodha Jananat Tesham Aparada Abhasatvena Iti Jneyam. So it should be understood that this incident of the Lord forgiving his devotees' transgression came about from the mere semblance of an offense, resulting from the sage's anger, which the Lord orchestrated out of his own will. Atra bhakta aparadasya Bhagavata Kshama Tad Ichcha Matra. The Lord has orchestrated the whole event by his own will. Tad Ichcha Matra. Tad Ichcha Matra Krita Tad Krodha Jananat Tesham Aparada Basatvena iti Jneyam. So the Kumaras committing an offense to the Jaya Vijay by cursing them, it is a semblance of an offense. It is not an offense. And the whole event is orchestrated by the will of the Lord. Tad Ichcha Matra. So therefore, when you read Prabhupada's purport, you read Prabhupada's purport in the Bhagavatam 3rd canto 16th chapter, we discussed it previously, 26, 27 and 29. The Prabhupada says the whole event is arranged by the Lord. It is a Jaya Vijay coming to the material world is a special case. It is a desire of the Lord. The conclusion of the incident is that nobody can fall from Vaikuntha. Once a person is accepted by Vishnu, nobody can fall down. That is the Prabhupada's purport. And then, Shlokadvaye asmin kaivalyan narakepi tvad bhakti matram kamayamana kamayamana kamayamananam asmakam tad avirodatvat shreyaniti swarasya labdam. So in these two shlokas, previous shloka and this shloka, the Kumaras are saying that living in hell as your devotee is superior to Kaivalya Mukti. The self-evident conclusion of these two verses that even dwelling in hell is superior to liberation in the form of the extinction in Brahman, because at least residence in hell is not antagonistic to devotional service, which was the Kumara's one and only aspiration. Kaivalyan narake api tvad bhakti matram kamayamananam asmakam tad avirodatvat shreyan iti swarasya labdam. In this way, Jiva Goswami is giving explanation of the shloka. So this verse talks about the difference between a jnani and a bhakta.
Hare Krishna, brother.
Yes, sir.
Prabhuji, the earlier sloka in the 49, the Kumaras are praying that our
48,
sin is 49.
This is the 49, yes.
Yeah, in 49 itself, the Kumaras are telling that we have committed a sin and therefore we will go to Naraka, where your service is not available, right? And secondly, they are telling
Your
thing,
service is not available. They are not saying like that. They are saying that
we cannot understand, we cannot be attached to you. We will be bahirmukh, because that is what I understand, that we won't be able to pray you, we will be forgetting you.
no, they are not saying that.
Yeah.
What they are praying is that we don't mind going to hell. We gladly accept going to hell for the sin we have committed, for the aparadha we have committed. But provided we gladly accept going to hell, provided if our body, mind, and words, if our ears are engaged in your devotional service. That's what they are praying.
Okay.
We gladly accept going to hell for the aparadha we have committed if our minds can be engaged in your service, if our words can be engaged in your glorifying you, if our ears can be engaged in hearing about you. That's what they are saying.
Okay. Okay, Praveen. Yeah, please continue.
So, because the Kumaras, previously they were jnanis, but now we can see when they have become a devotee, what are their feelings? Now they have been blessed by bhakti, they were prepared to even suffer in hell, provided they can engage in devotional service. Generally, hell is a very difficult place. Extreme suffering is there. So in that condition, it is difficult to focus one mind on Krishna. Generally, it is. But compared to impersonal liberation, in impersonal liberation, you don't have any senses. You don't have tongue, you don't have ear, you don't have any of the body. But in hell, at least you have the form, you have the individual body. Although suffering is there, Kumaras are saying that we don't mind the suffering in hell. We are not worried about the suffering in hell. But what we are worried is that we should not forget you. That's what they are praying. So the Kumaras, they felt that the root cause of all the problems is that we were parangmukha towards you. We were unfavorably disposed towards you. That is why we committed offense unto your two servants. And they are saying that we are ready to suffer any amount further. Only thing is that we don't want to be afflicted by non-devotion. We want to be devotees in hell. So therefore, Bhagavatam we see that Narayana parasarve na kutaschana bibyati. Swarga pavarga narakeshu apitulyartha darshana. Those who are surrendered to Lord Narayana, they see hell and heaven in the same platform. If they can perform, they see everything from the point of view of which is favorable for bhakti. They don't fear going to hell. They regard all circumstances as equal, whether it is promotion to heaven or liberation from material existence or dwelling in hell. Devotees surrender to Narayana. Only thing the devotees surrender to Narayana, they are not inclined to go to heaven or they are not afraid of hell. They see hell and heaven both the same platform. It's like seeing the gold and the stone as same. What the devotees fear is that they fear committing offense to another devotee. That's what they fear. So Jiva Goswami points out that for the jnanis like the Kumaras, there can be no possibility of the sin. And he is quoting the Vedanta Sutra. For the jnanis like the Kumara, there can be no possibility of the sin. But the Lord's qualities made such an impact in Kumaras that the Kumaras were humbled and they were captivated by the Lord's qualities. So much so that they were willing to go to hell if it afforded them the opportunity to remember Bhagavan. If it afforded them the opportunity to remember Bhagavan. So a famous Jiva Goswami also quotes in the purport. There is a shloka from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is quoted. The Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, a famous Brahmagyani of the medieval times experienced the importance of bhakti and was moved to write. A Brahmagyani is saying, we were revered by the adherents of the path of monism and had been placed on the throne of the joy of impersonal liberation. Yet we were forcibly transformed into maidservants by some cheater that roguish lover of the gopis. A Brahmagyani is actually composed this prayer with Rupa Goswami is quoted in the Shanta Bhakti section in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So further you can read the verse under discussion. Somebody can read.
Anyone wants to read?
Shall I read, Mataji?
Yes, please do.
The verse under discussion indicates that the Kumaras would rather be in hell as devotees than to gain liberation as extinction in Brahman, devoid of devotion. It also implies that they would have preferred to be in hell where they would never commit offenses to devotees, thus safeguarding their devotion. Or they might have thought that if they had suffered, if they suffered in hell, they would be inspired to remember the Lord, as people in general remember him when suffering, but forget him when intoxicated by wealth, position, or non theistic knowledge.
The
Sri
3 points
Narada
are
confirmed.
mentioned. We prefer to be in hell rather than not having a form in Brahman realization. And second is that if you are in hell, we would not commit offense to a devotee. That's another reason. And third reason is that we will be inspired to remember the Lord more intensely in hell. So Narada also told Nalakur and Manigiri before cursing them. Narada said that people who are blinded by the intoxication of wealth, for them the best medicine is the poverty. Because when a person becomes poor, when he experiences the suffering, then he can actually empathize with others' suffering. He can empathize with others' suffering. So therefore, similarly, when we go to hell, when we experience the suffering there, we will be forced to remember the Lord more. So therefore, they are saying that we prefer to be in hell as the devotees rather than being in Vaikuntha as offenders. Better to be in hell as the devotees than to be in Vaikuntha as offenders. So this is the principle of surrender. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjana. If we can be devotees in hell, then that is better. But if we are going to be offenders in Vaikuntha, no, we don't want that. We don't want to be in Vaikuntha. But let us be devotees in hell. Further, you can read Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura says that the Kumaras were praying to engage their mind, speech, and ears in the service of the Lord, but not with the purpose of attaining Brahmananda, just as the bumblebee never relinquishes its attachment to flowers, despite often being pierced by thorns. Similarly, the Kumaras were determined to serve the Lord's lotus feet in spite of all impediments. Such an attitude is evidence of prema or unconditional love.
Further.
Vishwanatha says that the first implication of the Kumaras' prayers is that their ears should be filled completely with the Lord's qualities. According to Nyaya philosophy, however, the sense, indriya, of hearing is understood as the sky enclosed. Further, you have to scroll through.
Okay. Yeah, in the Nyaya Shastra, our Shravanendriya, ear, Shravanendriya is made of the Akasha element. Akasha. So the quality of Akasha is the sound, Shabda. So sound is the quality of the Akasha, and Shravanendriya is made of Akasha. And qualities are formless, like Shabda, sound is formless. And Akasha is unlimited. Akasha is all pervading. In other words, our ears can never be filled completely. Our ears have the capacity to hold unlimited information. Like for example, if I take a cup, our cup can hold only a specific quantity of milk or water. If there is a bag can hold only a specific quantity of some substances. But the Akasha, ether element is actually, by the definition of the ether element is all pervading. And the Shabda is the quality of the ether element. So Krishna Chakotipad says that the ether element, since qualities are formless and the sky is unlimited, the sense of hearing, or in other words, the ear can never be filled completely. That means one can go on hearing about the qualities of the Lord and never be satiated. That is the underlying implication of this prayer. One can go on hearing about the qualities of the Lord. One can never think, like the case of the stomach, we can't keep on eating actually. At a certain point, the stomach becomes full and then we can no longer eat. Other senses have the limitation. But the ears is something that one can go on hearing, one can never get satiated. Even when you see from the quality of the Shravanendriya. Shravanendriya is made of Akasha, and Akasha is unlimited. And therefore, the unlimited Shabda Akasha can hold unlimited Shabda. So, therefore, there is one Tamil poet, Thiruvalluvar. He has given a beautiful Tirukural. What he says is that செவிக்கு உணவு இல்லாத பொழுது சிறிது வயிற்றுக்கும் ஈயப்படும். Profound meaning. He says that when you don't have food for the ears, at that time you can eat little bit. What he is saying that you go on actually hearing, you can go on hearing the Shastra, you go on hearing the Lord's glories. And then in between, when there is a break, that time you can go and eat something and come. Or in between, when you need some little food, that time you can eat and come, but you go on hearing. So, even potentially, in the case of our stomach, it can hold only a certain amount of food. We cannot go on eating. We cannot go on drinking something. We cannot go on holding. Somebody may give gold, but then there is a limit to how much we can hold. We cannot go on actually holding the gold. There is a limit to the weight we can hold. But in the case of the hearing, one can go on hearing because the ear has an unlimited capacity. That is also another implication of the prayer. So this is the full shloka. We'll go through one more anuccheda and then we'll end. With this, at least the last prayer will be ending. Somebody can repeat after me the shloka. Pradushchakarta yadidam puruhuta roopam.
प्रादुश्चकर्त यदिदं पुरुहूतरूपम्
Tenesha nirvritimavapuраlam drishona.
तेने स निर्वृतिम् अवापुरलं दृशो न
Tasma idam bhagavate tamayidvidhema.
तस्मा इदं भगवते नम इद्विदेन
योनात्मनां दुरुदयो भगवान् प्रतीतः.
योनात्मनां दुरुदयो Bhagavan Pratitaha.
So they are addressing the Lord, O Lord of unlimited glories. O Lord of unlimited glories, you have manifested this charming form before us. Puruhuta Rupam Pradushchakarta Yadidam. You have manifested this charming form before us, and our eyes have achieved much bliss by seeing it. Tenesha Nirvritim Avapa. Nirvritim Avapuhu Alam Drishonah. We have our eyes have attained much bliss by seeing it. Tasma idam Bhagavate, this form, O Lord, rarely appears to those devoid of awareness of the true self. Anatmanam urudayo Bhagavan pratitah. Those who are anatmas, those who are devoid of the awareness of the true self, those who are the materialists, this form cannot be visible, cannot be seen by them. Therefore, we offer our humble obeisances unto you. Tasma idam Bhagavate namaha. And short explanation of the shloka. Tatapi api ittam kritartatvam asmakam atichitram ityahuhu praduhu iti. The Kumara sang this verse to express their amazement upon attaining such perfection. Kritartha means what? Kritartha means perfection. Kritartatvam asmakam atichitram. They are experiencing their amazement and attaining the perfection which they attain. So, anatmanam atmanas tava ekanta bhakti rahitanam aprakatopi ittam yaha pratitosi tasmai tubhyam nama idam videma iti. You remain concealed to those devoid of awareness of the true self, anatmana. Or in other words, those who are devoid of bhakti towards you. Ekanta bhakti rahitanam aprakatopi. But still, you have become visible to our eyes. Therefore, we offer our obeisances unto you. So, in this final verse, Kumaras are marveling at the mercy of the Lord, who showed his form to offenders like them. Therefore, they are finally simply offering obeisances to the Lord. So, just like a owl cannot see the sun. Similarly, anatmanam, those who are devoid of devotion, they can rarely see the Lord. Durudayo means rarely. But since the Kumaras were Brahmajnanis and then prayed for devotional service, this indicates that Bhakti, the Panchama Purushartha, is the topmost goal of human life. So normally, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, these are the four Purusharthas. Kumaras had attained Moksha, Brahmajnanis. But they are praying for devotion. Therefore, this section also proves that Krishna Prema is the Panchama Purushartha, the highest goal. So this is one of the unique paradigm or unique contribution of the Gaudiya Vaishnava theology. So before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advent, moksha was the ultimate goal. But Mahaprabhu said that Srimad Bhagavatam is highlighting the goal higher than moksha, that is the Krishna Prema, which is the so therefore Jiva Goswami is systematically divulging the secret in the analysis of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So therefore, we see that every story of Srimad Bhagavatam is impregnated with a profound Siddhanta, profound philosophical conclusion. So this Kumara's attempt to go to Vaikuntha, it is especially included by Vyasadeva to enable that to enable the Brahmagyanis to see beyond the a priori assumption that limit the absolute to the Brahman. The Brahmagyanis, they think that the absolute truth is only the impersonal Brahman. But this particular story is included by Vyasadeva in the Srimad Bhagavatam, so that the Brahmagyanis can understand that there is a higher realization beyond Brahman realization. In that way, Brahmagyanis can get an opportunity to render devotional service. So we see it's very interesting that Brahma sent his own sons, the best of the Jnanis, to Vaikuntha and made them experience the superiority of bhakti over the Brahmananda. So therefore, anybody who is a thoughtful Jnani should learn a lesson from this. A discerning Jnani should learn a lesson from this. So in this way, because this anuccheda goes little further, more Jiva Goswami is analyzing. But the 50th shloka is completed. 50th shloka is the last shloka of that chapter. But this anuccheda goes further. He further discusses more conclusions based on these shlokas. We will take up this discussion, I think, next week, because it's a little long discussion. Maybe at least 2 more classes will take. So if you have any questions, we'll take.
So, Prabhuji, I don't know if I have understood correctly, but have yourself mentioned like this, that sin is impossible for Brahman realize even with who are without devotion. Have you made a statement like this?
But Brahman realize what?
Sin is impossible for a person who is in Brahman realized,
Correct.
but who is even without devotion. Have you made a statement like this? Because I'm just trying to understand whether I'm understanding correctly.
Yeah, Brahman realized people, they don't have devotion to Bhagavan. Of course, they have to perform bhakti secondarily. Without that, one cannot attain Brahman realization. Even the jnanis or yogis, they have to perform some element of bhakti. So even the Brahman realized people, they have to have some element of bhakti, but they don't have bhakti predominantly. In that sense, they are devoid of devotion. So if they are completely devoid of devotion, they cannot come to the stage of Brahman realization at all. Because but in the sense that they are, but they don't have bhakti predominantly. Mainly, they are attached to the impersonal Brahman. But so even Brahman realized jnanis, for them, they are completely freed from the sins. But the Kumaras, but they are freed from the sins, but they are saying that we have committed a sin. That means, what does it show? It shows that how much they were attracted by the qualities of Vishnu. They're repenting that we have committed an offense here. It shows that Ittam Bhuta Guno Harihi, how the qualities of the Bhagavan are attractive even to the Brahman realized jnanis.
Okay, and this shloka which we did in the previous class, this Pumsam Gatim Mrugayatam Yoga Marge Dhyanaspudam Bhaumatam Nayanabhiranam. So that is actually a Srimad Bhagavatam verse? Is it is it from Srimad Bhagavatam? This
Pumsam
Gatim Mrugayatam Yoga Marge Dhyanaspudam Bhaumatam Nayanabhiranam. It's that way it goes.
It is 45th shloka, 315, 45th.
315?
45.
Yeah,
45.
45th shloka. Correct.
45th, yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, does anyone have a question actually? I'm just asking something.
No, I want to ask Prabhuji, May I ask, Prabhu?
Yes, right.
Prabhuji, we understand that even under the Brahman realization, they are not prone to any sin. Yet they end up committing a sin at Dwar of the Vaikuntha. And you have stated that this is explained in the 3:16, 27, 28. It is the act of the Lord, so that the Kumaras, the devotion, the devotional, the glory of devotional service is being pointed out. But
Many
my
reasons.
question, yes,
That is one reason.
yeah,
Another reason is that the Lord wants to come and enjoy Virya Rasa.
yeah,
Therefore,
that's
he
right.
wanted to send Jaya Vijay to this world. And Lord Brahma had desired that his Kumaras become devotees. So therefore, that is also Lord wanted to make Kumaras devotees. That's another reason. But one of the primary reason is that Krishna wanted to come and enjoy Virya Rasa. Jaya Vijay had to come down.
So my question is, the Kumaras, it is deemed that they have not committed any sin because anyone who understands Krishna or one who come or seeing face to face with Krishna, all his sins are vanquished, gone. No, but yet they are considering themselves as a sin. But Lord is not considering that it is an act as a sin at all. But does the Kumaras ever realize that what they have committed is the act of Lord, or they, because of the humbleness, they are accepting it, or because of the prema, they are accepting the sin? How does we take that?
Yeah, from the point of view of the Kumaras, they don't know it is an arrangement of the Lord. Acharyas, Jiva Goswami is educating us, it is the will of the Lord. From the point of the Kumaras, they were overwhelmed with the devotional emotion and they are feeling that we committed an offense. And they were transformed by the Lord's qualities.
Yeah, Prabhu. It was very interesting to expand the one sloka into multiple dimension and try to understand it. It was too good. Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Generally, in the sense that you see, like this theme comes many places in the Bhagavatam. And Parikshit Maharaj went to Samika Rishi and then he put the dead snake. He was cursed by Shringi. So the Acharyas write that the whole incident is arranged by the Lord. You read Acharya's purports. Because Parikshit Maharaj, he can never get agitated just because of some thirst. Because the same Parikshit Maharaj, never before, even in the dream, he had never disrespected a Brahmana. Even in the dream. And never in the past and in the future also, he took shelter of the same Brahmanas and sages. And in the future, for 7 days and 7 nights, he completely fasted, even from water. So how can that Parishit Maharaj get disturbed by a thirst at that time? Therefore, the whole event is arranged by the Lord. Like that, you see. But from the point of view, the whole event was arranged by the Lord so that the Bhagavatam could be spoken. But from the point of Parishit Maharaj, he says that I have actually acted as an uncivilized person. Let the reaction come to me immediately, in full force, without any delay. And he feels that because I was such an attached householder, Krishna has showed kindness upon me. Krishna has come in the form of the curse, because he's seeing the Krishna's hand, but in the sense that Krishna has come in the form of the curse in order to make me detached, because I was an attached householder. Not in the sense that, oh, Krishna, I am such a great devotee that Krishna has arranged like this personally. See, the greatness of devotion, Krishna is personally involved. He is not thinking like that. It's feeling that I am such an uncivilized person, let me get the reaction. And because I was an attached person, Krishna has come in the form of the curse. Like that he's saying. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
We'll stop here.
Roger, can I ask one question?
Yes.
You can switch off the recording.
Recording.
Yeah.